it or not, when you talk of commercial today, Igbo land and Igbo people cannot be taken for granted. So please, across the country, I personally appeal to Mr. President and to his Attorney General.
All right, very well.
They should expedite action, and this guy should be freed. Let them go and take treatment from wherever he trusts the doctor across the globe. It's a Nigerian. It's a Nigerian, and he will continue to be a Nigerian. And finally, on this matter, I want to say clearly that if you have our father's property, if nobody is cheating anybody, nobody will call for sharing. If all of us are managing our father's estate and we are sharing it accordingly, I don't think anybody will be protesting. But by the time somebody will say, no, we have to share this, that is to say some people are oppressing the other people.
Right.
Enough of the oppression people are shouting for in the southeastern Nigeria. Let us, no second fiddle. Nobody should play second fiddle in this country. We are all Nigerians.
All right, very well. Building on your last statement that nobody should play second fiddle in this country, and the fact that one of the things Nnamdi Kanu was crying about was marginalization of the Igbos, right? Now, I want to ask a question. Why is Sunday Igboho walking free? I have always asked this question over and over again, and I'm going to ask that question again. Why is Sunday Igboho, who was declared wanted by Malami, the then Attorney General of the Federation, wanted for treason, why is he walking free? Now, very quickly, let me give a brief insight into this. Sunday Igboho, whose full name is Chief Sunday Adeniyi Adeyemo, fled Nigeria in July 2021 to escape arrest by security agencies following a violent raid in his home and an escalating government crackdown on Yoruba self-determination activists. Now, this is the breakdown in the order it happened. Now, DSS raided his Ibadan home on July 1, 2021, and the operation turned violent. 2 of his aides were killed, several others arrested, and then DSS later claimed they discovered arms and ammunition in his residence, a charge Igboho denied. Now, the federal government accused Igboho of stockpiling weapons and threatening Nigerian sovereignty through his campaign for Yoruba nation secession. The Attorney General of the Federation then, Abubakar Malami, publicly declared him wanted for allegedly inciting violence and undermining state security. Anticipating arrest, Igboho went into hiding immediately after the DSS raid. Now, Igboho fled Nigeria for Benin Republic in July 19, 2021, intending to travel onward to Germany, where his wife and family live. He was, however, arrested at Cotonou Airport by Beninese authorities on Nigeria's request. After several months of legal battles, diplomatic negotiations, he was released in March 2022, but restricted from leaving Benin until October 2023, when he regained full freedom. Now, the question here is, regained full freedom in Benin Republic, but still facing charges of treason and undermining the nation's security, and the same similar offense that Nnamdi Kanu has allegedly committed, secession, right? And the question is, Igboho is in Nigeria, working freely, eating freely, enjoying all his fundamental human rights. And Nnamdi Kanu, who now, according to the Nigerian, the federal government, accusing him of the same crime that Igboho had committed. And let it be known that Nnamdi Kanu has not been convicted by any court as of now. So the question is, why is Sunday Igboho walking free and not facing charges? And Nnamdi Kanu is being detained over similar accusations, allegations as it were. And Nnamdi Kanu's life, according to medical reports and the reports of the Nigerian Medical Association, is, hanging by a thread, and his organs are failing according to the reports. Why? What exactly is going on? Why is Sunday Igboho walking free and Nnamdi Kanu is still detained despite valid court bail? What's going on? George, you wanted to add a final statement as we round up this story.
This is my understanding to the last question you asked, why Igboho is walking free and Nnamdi Kanu is being detained. No governments all over the world will open their arms to allow a citizen to commit treason against it, seeking for dissolution of the government and division of the country. No government will allow that. Igboho has done what he did, and I believe after he faced some charges, Igboho dropped that matter. From that time till now, I don't think we've had anything again. I'm talking about the difference why it appears that the federal government have continued to disobey valid court order or judgments. Nnamdi Kanu is insistent. Even while in detention, he has continued to fight for what he believes is for self-determination. And that is the reason why, that could be reason, that is my position, and that could be reason why the government have continued. But like you pointed out here earlier, several persons on head grants were released. I am not even talking about the head grants now. I'm a strict follower of the law. I'm not even talking about the head grant. I'm saying that a competent court of jurisdiction has granted him bail. On that is where I'm standing. I'm not talking about the head grants now. Head grants could be made up. Could be made up. I'm not saying it was made up. It could be made up. But I'm saying that the court has granted that this man, based on the charges that the federal government was pursuing against him, was not exactly what it is. Therefore, that this man is free. So I am against the federal government for still insisting on keeping Nnamdi Kanu as against a court judgment. That is where I'm standing. So for me, like my brother said, I am also appealing to the conscience of the president, the Attorney General, and all the other people who are directly or indirectly involved in the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu to see that Nnamdi Kanu is released, so that if there are health issues, he can go and attend to it. And not just that, we need peace in Nigeria. The Igbos today control 5 states by geographical location and all that. They control 5 states. Their population is so massive. Their input into the economy of Nigeria, you cannot talk about Nigeria without talking about that. All over the world, they are there in all professions and all that. So these people are not a people that you can, not even somebody who does not contribute anything that you can trample on because they have that right to life and all that. So what we are saying is that the federal government should unconditionally, given the fact that the court has ruled, they should unconditionally release Nnamdi Kanu so that the man can go back to the southeast and probably look for a way to reconcile some of these differences. What are we talking about? State creation, other things that the man talking about marginalization and all that. Look at the areas where he's pointing. In our place, they say where a child is, why cry and pointing? If his father is not there, the mother is there. There must be something that is actually making this man to act the way he's acting. Why don't we sit down on a round table and look into this thing inwardly and see how we can resolve it amicably without allowing the country to implode.
All right. Very interestingly, you talked about the treason charges against Nnamdi Kanu on account of self-determination. And one would say to a large extent, self-determination is not exactly criminal. It is recognized in international law. In fact, United Nations Charter, which Nigeria is part of, 1945, Article 1, subsection 2, states that one of the UN's purposes is to develop friendly relations among nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of people. Now, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, 1966, Article 1, subsection 1 declares, all peoples have the right of self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. African Charter on Human Rights, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, ratified by Nigeria, Article 20, subsection 1 states, all peoples shall have the unquestionable and inalienable right to self-determination. So in essence, international law recognizes the right of people, especially distinct ethnic, cultural, or national groups, to pursue self-determination peacefully. Now, the question